How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another Star Wars gaming video. And in this video we're going to be talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2 because for those of you who don't know, it is currently free on the Epic Games Store, and that is the Celebration edition of the game as well. This has led to Battlefront 2 going through the roof on Twitch. The player numbers on PC are possibly the highest that they have ever been, and believe it or not, this new influx of new players has actually broken the game. I'm not even kidding either. The error legitimately says there are too many people playing the game, which is like the best error ever for those of us who love Battlefront 2. So we're of course going to address this topic, talk a little bit about what it could mean, and we're also going to touch on some Battlefront game rumors that have been doing the rounds. As I am yet to talk about this on my channel yet, and I get asked about it constantly, and considering EA have confirmed that they have multiple Star Wars games in the works, this could very well be one of them. So lots to touch on in this video. But first off, if you haven't already, be sure to let me know in those comments what Star Wars game you want to see the most with the Star Wars license opening up, and remember to hit that subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date on all things Star Wars gaming. But for now, let's just get into the video. So as of yesterday, Star Wars Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition launched into the Epic Games Store, and it was free. Now naturally, this has meant a lot of people have downloaded the game, and the amount of people that are checking out Battlefront 2 for the first time or returning back to the game has surpassed everyone's expectations, including those within EA. Many EA employees have actually been coming out reassuring that the server issues are going to be given attention, as they were just not expecting this many people to jump onto Battlefront 2. So they're scaling up new servers to accommodate all these new players. Simply put, there are just more players than space on the servers, and it's broken the game. Also, Twitch viewer numbers for Battlefront 2 are through the roof in comparison to where they were before this. I remember only a few months ago, I streamed Battlefront 2 on Twitch, and we had about, I think it was like 90% of the overall Twitch viewership for Battlefront 2 in just our stream, and we had only like 80 people in the stream or something. So yes, this is a big increase. Now, this of course is only a good thing. This obviously brings more eyes onto the game, it makes more people realize how good the game has become, and it makes people realize that, hey, they cut live service on this game. Why? So naturally, this will put more pressure on EA and Lucasfilm to bring the Battlefront franchise back in some way, seeing Battlefront 2 just spike in popularity again, despite the fact that it was canned in April of last year. Now, EA and Lucasfilm Games may already be in the process of bringing back the Battlefront franchise, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they are. I'll talk about why that is in just a second. But I think the recent announcement of Lucasfilm Games, the open world Star Wars game, the Mando hype effects still showing on the Battlefront servers, all of it's combined, so player base numbers are just through the roof and even surpassing EA's expectations. And as someone who has watched Battlefront 2 rot away since last year, on all three platforms, player numbers are finally through the roof. It's not one or the other, it's all three, and that is great to see. But now let's get into all these Battlefront game rumors. Now, I don't even know where to start. I've kind of just focused on the Lucasfilm Games announcement and the open world games and the, Battlefront 3 potential, and kind of just ignored these rumors. But it's getting to the point where I just need to talk about it, plain and simple. Now, for those of you who don't know what has been going on, I'm going to fill you in quickly. In the Battlefront 2 campaign, there were three characters that are relevant to this topic today. Those being Iden Versio, played by Yanina Gavankar, Del Meeko, played by TJ Romini, and Admiral Versio, played by Anthony Scordi. Now, Yanina and TJ Romini are back working together in motion capture suits, and Anthony Scordi posted a picture of himself working in voiceover. And obviously, mocap and voiceover are two things synonymous with video games, especially the work that these actors do. And all three of them have been working in Los Angeles at the same time, and apparently there is a studio there for EA that they'd probably be working at. Now, that's a rumor though, that's not me saying that, so don't take that as gospel. Now, that at face value is enough to make you wonder if they are returning for a Battlefront 3 campaign, prequel sort of thing, or a Battlefront spin-off like Battlefront Inferno Squad, but you'd be clutching at straws really. But TJ Romini has been dropping a few teasers here and there that could suggest all of this stuff actually has some truth to it. A random Star Wars fact page on Twitter posted a tweet about Battlefront 2 actors potentially working together on a new project. Now, TJ did comment this photo. You could say it's a further tease, you could say it's him literally just trying to mess with people. I personally think it's just him messing with people, to be honest. Knowing how NDAs work, I just don't think he'd be doing this sort of stuff if what he's working on is what the rumors say. Now, I could be wrong though, but before people jump to conclusions, just bear that in mind. Now, this isn't the only thing TJ has said though. He also responded to a post from Anthony Scordy saying, "Right back at you, mate. So lovely seeing and working with you again on what we shan't reveal, of course." And then Mitch Dyer commented on this, who was actually the writer of Battlefront 2's campaign. He said, "Well, I can't wait for whatever this reunion is." Now, a lot of people have marked that as like a tongue-in-cheek comment, like, "Oh, I wonder." Not literally, so that's just added even more fuel to the fire. Now, Yanina Gavankar also posted something late last year when all these rumors started, and I can't actually find the tweet at the time of recording. It may have been deleted, but if I do find it, I will put it on screen for you. I remember what it was though. She basically posted a pic of a mocap suit with a caption that said, "Shh," or something along those lines. Now, also more fuel to the fire here. Someone did ask Anthony Scordy if what he was working on was Star Wars, and he did actually like that comment, but he didn't reply to it. So take that for what you will. But something to keep in mind here, there is one key actor missing in all of these teasers. That of course is Paul Blackthorne, who played Gideon Hask, the third member of Inferno Squad. Now, Paul Blackthorne's Twitter has been completely silent since these rumors started up. Of course, if he was teasing things too, I think a Battlefront 3 sort of prequel campaign or a Battlefront spin-off for Inferno Squad would 100% be much more likely. But he could very well be working with these actors. He just doesn't use social media that much, which I think is the case. He hasn't used it since like late November at the time of recording, so take his silence as you will. Now, I find all of this really interesting because the Battlefront 2 campaign was average. It had its great moments, but overall, I think most people were disappointed, not with the performances by the actors or the cinematics, but more so the fact that it betrayed its main selling point within a couple missions. And that was of course playing from the perspective of the Empire. Now maybe they want to continue this story with these characters, but not make the mistakes they made the first time round, and a prequel would be a good way to do that. Bring the characters back in a prequel and actually play the campaign in its entirety as the bad guys. I'd be completely down for that personally. As for the characters though, I thought Iden Versio was just meh. I liked Del Meeko. I thought his scenes with Luke gave his character a ton of depth, and this scene you're seeing in the background footage right now is so underrated. This was just like chef's kiss perfect from Luke and Del. And of course you've got Hask, who ended up being more like a villain, and I thought he was actually a pretty cool character as he actually stayed loyal to the Empire right to the very end, which was pretty much the entire point of the campaign. So I'd be happy to see Inferno Squad again, just playing as the bad guys, and that's what needs to be done if they're going to do this. We know Iden, Del, and Hask, they all die much later on in life, but Admiral Versio dies during the campaign's climax, so it's going to be interesting if this does happen to see where in the timeline all of this could take place. But honestly, if it wasn't for the Lucasfilm Games announcements the other day, I don't think I would even consider the possibility of all these rumors on a Battlefront spin-off or a Battlefront 3 being even remotely true, hence why I never made videos on it. But the announcement for Lucasfilm Games just opened up everything for Star Wars games over the next few years and beyond, and of course, EA themselves confirming that we will be seeing multiple Star Wars games from them. So I think the chances of a Battlefront 3 or a Battlefront spin-off actually happening has skyrocketed in just the past few days alone. This year is honestly going to be so eventful for Star Wars games, it's not funny. It's not going to be like content heavy in terms of games that we're going to receive this year. We will receive LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, obviously, and if we're really damn lucky, some random small game late in the year that kind of just gets sprung on us like Squadrons did. But this year is going to be all about announcements, and I hope by the time this year is done, we know of at least 3 future Star Wars games. But given the changes being made with Star Wars games going forward with Lucasfilm Games and whatnot, it is absolutely possible that we could get even more games than that announced. But that is just what I believe. I tell you what, the coming months are going to get really damn interesting for Star Wars games. EA do have an investors call coming up in a couple weeks, and for once, I would actually be very surprised if we didn't hear anything for Star Wars games from that. So there is a lot going on right now. Speculation is running wild, and I want to know what you guys think down in those comments. So make sure you let me know, and if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on for all things Star Wars games. But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you all for watching. and have a good one.